welcome to Newsmakers, your chance to get to know the people who are making news in your area. I'm your host, Nancy Lewis, and I'm here right now with Missouri State Representative Jason Grill. And okay, so we're going to have people get to know you.
Right.
What do you want people to know about you?
Well, I represent part of the Northland area in Platte County, southern Platte County, and in my second term in the legislature, I'm running for my third term this fall. I'm very excited about that.
We'll talk about what's coming up in a second, but let's look back. I know one of the things that you're very proud of from this past year is a reform on autism insurance. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I worked with a Republican, I'm a Democrat, from St. Louis, and we sponsored bills to get autism insurance reform in the state of Missouri so parents could be able to get their children the autism insurance therapies and diagnosis they needed, which they weren't getting before. And this was something that was a huge thing for our state. We've been working on it for 2 or 3 years. The governor really fought hard for this, and at the end of the day, we were able to get a vote in the House and the Senate, and it became law around June of this year. We signed the bill.
Tell me about that. Tell me about what a difference this is going to make for those parents.
Well, these parents were spending upwards of $50,000 to $100,000 a year. Autism has increased rapidly over the last 20 years. 1 in 110 people have autism, children have autism, and this will help them get the diagnosis, the treatments, the behavioral therapies they need. Their insurance companies will cover it similar to how they cover mammograms and those types of things. And it was a huge step. 20 other states had done this, and we were behind. And so far, they've been successful in these other states, so we're very happy about it.
You are on a whole bevy of other committees, Judiciary, Ways and Means, Commerce, blah, blah, blah. Right. You've been able to weigh in on some pretty heavy subjects, like, for instance, the fair tax.
Right. We dealt with the fair tax this year. One of the things in tax and Ways and Means that's interesting is you have people from both sides of these arguments, and we're just trying to formulate updated codes to our tax code, updated ways to do things, and it's a really interesting committee to be on, and hopefully we'll be on it again next year, and we can figure out ways to make our tax code simpler and better for the residents of our state.
I know one of the things that when it comes to fair tax that you're interested in is making sure that Missouri is still competitive, right?
Right. I mean, it needs to be done probably on a federal level, but I understand the concerns with people moving across the border to shop with a higher sales tax. But then I also see other states that don't have income tax who are having more and more people move to those states, and obviously you have to weigh those two interests when you decide on that legislation. And
speaking of interest and interest of yours, I know something that you're very interested in is economic development.
Right, right. Hopefully next year, in my third term, I'll be able to serve on the Economic Development Committee. Right now, going back, we only have 1 returning member from Kansas City out of 16, and that's very important. We need people from Kansas City voicing what we need to do in our state to keep jobs in Missouri and so they won't move over to the Kansas side.
Now is a time that is especially challenging, isn't it?
Very challenging. Kansas has some very well-written laws, and they've done really well and job retention, gaining jobs, and we've kind of lagged behind a little bit, and I'm hopeful that with the new economic director, David Kerr, and with the Governor Nixon, and with us third-termers, hopefully we can get some stuff done next year and modernize this way we do development in our state.
If you had to say one thing that you think would be key to that, what would it be?
Well, it really would just be realizing which incentives work and which ones don't. We have a lot of good development incentives that work and that have done great things and have done great things on Kansas side, and we just get on par with them. That would be a great step ahead for our state. I'd love to see big companies coming in. I'd love to support small businesses, and I'd love to see the urban core in downtown Kansas City continue to grow.
We have just a little time left, but you didn't mention that you have a big award coming up this week.
Right. When I was at the University of Missouri-Columbia, my real career is as an attorney, I guess you would say, but I received an award for a distinguished recent law alum of the last 10 years. So it's great to go back to Mizzou, and I'm a big Mizzou fan, and great to see old friends and talk to the deans. And my parents came, and it was very interesting.
Congratulations. Glad to have you here with us. That's all the time we have for now for Newsmakers.